Have you ever worked hard every single day and still felt like money was avoiding you? Like no matter how much effort you gave, your life stayed the same? Stay with me until the end, because this story might change the way you see money forever. Not with some fake success trick, but with one invisible rule that kept a poor boy trapped for years, until he finally saw it. And once he did, everything changed. His name was Zephan Cross, 23 years old, living in a tiny apartment above a noisy laundromat. Every night, the floor vibrated from the machines downstairs. Coins clanged through the walls. Hot air smelled like soap and dust. And somehow, that sound made him feel worse. Because other people were counting money, while he was counting excuses. Zephan worked hard, harder than everyone around him. Double shifts, no sleep, cheap coffee, cold pizza boxes stacked near his bed. But every month ended the same way. Empty wallet, late bills, that heavy silence in his chest. He felt invisible, like his life was going nowhere. One night, he sat on the edge of his bed staring at his bank account. $34. That was it. 34. He laughed. Not because it was funny, because it hurt too much. Then his phone buzzed. A message from his mother. Just one picture. An old photo of him as a kid, smiling, holding a toy airplane. That memory hit hard. Back when he believed life would become something. Back when he thought hard work alone could save him. But now, he was tired, frustrated, done. And that was the night everything almost broke. The next morning, Zephan missed the bus after working all night. Rain soaked through his hoodie. Cars splashed dirty water onto his shoes. He arrived late. Again, his manager looked at him and said quietly, "Nothing is changing. Nothing will change." Those words stayed in his head all day, like a wound. But later that night, an older man walked into the laundromat downstairs. Gray jacket, calm eyes, quiet voice. He noticed Zephan reading an old finance book near the vending machine. Then he said something strange. "Poor people think money is earned. Rich people know money is kept." Zephan looked up, confused, and for the first time in years, he stopped blaming the world. The old man's name was Orson Vale. Nobody knew much about him. He came into the laundromat every Thursday night. Always alone. Always carrying the same black notebook. Zephan started sitting closer each week. Listening. Watching. Because Orson had something rare. Peace. The kind money usually promises, but never gives. One night, Zephan finally asked him, "How do people escape this?" Orson smiled slightly. Then he opened the notebook. Inside were tiny handwritten numbers. Daily expenses. Investments. Income. Every dollar had a purpose. Nothing wasted. Nothing random. And then Orson gave him the rule that changed his life. Money disappears where attention disappears. That was it. Simple, but brutal. Because Zephan suddenly saw the truth. He wasn't poor because he made too little. He was poor because he never noticed where his life was leaking. Fast food. Subscriptions. Impulse buys. Trying to look successful. Trying to feel important. Tiny decisions. Every day, quietly destroying him. This is where his life changed. Not overnight. Not magically. Slowly. Painfully. The next morning, Zephan woke up early and wrote down every expense. Every coffee. Every snack. Every useless purchase. At first, it felt stupid. Small. Pointless. Then came the resistance. His friends laughed at him. "You're counting dollars now." He almost quit. And then came the micro-failure. One Friday night, exhausted after work, Zephan spent half his paycheck on clothes he didn't need. The second he got home, regret. Heavy regret. He stared at the shopping bags on the floor. Silent room. Dim kitchen light flickering. Rain tapping against the window. And he whispered to himself, "I'm still the same person." That night hurt more than being broke. Because now he could see the pattern. Before he was blind. Now he was awake. Orson kept teaching him. Quietly. Patiently. No hype. No motivational speeches. Just truth. Discipline is remembering what you want when comfort tries to distract you. Months passed. Zephan stopped chasing appearances. Stopped trying to impress people who secretly ignored him anyway. He started building invisible habits. Saving first. Spending last. Learning daily. Working with intention. And slowly, his mind became calmer. Stronger. Different. One night, while locking the laundromat downstairs, he caught his reflection in the glass door. For the first time, he looked like someone becoming dangerous. Not to others, to his old self. A year later, Zephan's life looked almost the same from the outside. Same city, same old streets, same laundromat humming through the night. But inside, everything had changed. He had savings now. Small at first, then bigger, then impossible to ignore. He learned skills after work while everyone else escaped into distractions. Marketing, sales, investing. Late nights became training grounds. Not punishment. There were still hard days. Days he wanted to quit. Days he watched other people getting rich faster online. Days doubt crawled back into his head. But this time, he didn't break. Because he finally understood something most people never learn. Wealth is built in silence before it ever makes noise. One winter evening, Zephan stood outside a small apartment building holding new keys in his hand. His own place. Nothing fancy, but earned. Cold wind brushed against his face. His hands trembled slightly. And suddenly, he remembered that little boy holding the toy airplane. The one who believed life could become something. He smiled. Not because he was rich, because he was no longer powerless. Then his phone buzzed. A message from Orson. Just one sentence. You stopped needing money to feel valuable. That's when money started staying. Zephan stared at the screen for a long time. Because deep down, that was the real invisible rule. Money follows identity, not effort alone. And the moment you stop acting like a broken person, your life starts responding differently. Listen carefully. Most people stay poor because they spend their entire life trying to look rich. That's the trap. The invisible trap. And nobody warns you about it. Here's the truth. You do not rise when life becomes easier. You rise when your standards become stronger. Try this for 30 days. Track every dollar. Remove one useless habit. Learn one valuable skill daily. And watch what happens to your mind. Because once your mind changes, your entire future follows. And here's the uncomfortable part nobody likes hearing. Some people don't actually want freedom. They just want better-looking chains. Don't become one of them. Your next chapter starts the moment you take control of what controls you. Comment below. What's one thing draining your future right now?